Hi, Dr. Heidi here. Today I'm answering a question about anchors. Thank you to everyone recently who's been sending in some questions. I have had a flood of them recently, which creates great content for the YouTube channel. Today's question is, how do NLP anchors really work? Well, let me tell. So anchors in NLP, we're talking about a stimulus that creates a response. So you might have a song that you listen to and it takes you to a certain state or emotion or memory. Or there might be a way that somebody looks at you or says your entire name, or the phone ringing, or a certain ringtone, or you see something or hear something and it automatically creates a response in you. So Skinner was a psychologist, and he looked at conditioning and conditioned responses. And that's exactly what we're looking at when we are playing with anchors. You already have various conditioned responses that you automatically respond to. You don't have to think about it, you just respond to it. That is an anchor, that stimulus that creates a response. We know in NLP how to unpack that. Not just that these anchors and this conditioned response exists, but how to create it. And you can go back to Pavlov. So Pavlov was Pavlov's dog, not the dog Pavlov. I wonder if anybody has called their dog Pavlov. Probably. Probably thousands of people have called their dog Pavlov. Totally off topic. So go back to Pavlov. He had a dog and he trained it to salivate. A conditioned response. He would ring a bell and then feed the dog some steak. Ring a bell, feed the dog some steak. Ring a bell, the dog would be like, steak, steak, I like steak. It would salivate. He would give the dog the steak. Ring the bell, dog salivates, anticipation of the steak, give the dog steak. Ring the bell, dog would salivate, no steak, still salivate. Ring the bell, still salivate, no steak. Ring the bell, steak, and salivate. Ring the bell, you see where I'm going with this. So he conditioned the dog, ring the bell equals salivate. NLP then unpacked it a little bit further to say, what is happening to create that conditioned response? Is it just over and over and over again in repetition and time, or is there something interesting going on? Well, what was unpacked is that our emotional state kind of goes in waves, and if we can catch the top of the wave, that's pretty much where you want to get when you start surfing, and then you kind of move to the middle of it. But the big top of a state, the peak of that state, it only lasts for 5-15 seconds, then it kind of goes down, it comes back up again, it goes down, it comes back up again. When a stimulus is applied at the peak of any state, that can create an anchor. Which is why you might have memories of this song and it takes you to great times or sad times. It's because at the peak of that state, you were in an emotional state. It's not just you touch somebody or somebody said something to you and that created an anchor. You must be in a peak state in order to create an anchor of something. If you've ever gone to a Tony Robbins event, the Unleash the Power Within, you create all kinds of anchors in there. You're jumping, there's music, there's hitting, there's yelling, there's hey, I, and everybody says I, and there's lots of that energy that creates the anchors. Unfortunately, a lot of those are unsustainable if you don't have 10,000 people hanging around with you all the time. So in NLP, we actually teach you how to harness and create those anchors. I have anchors for creating motivation, energy, drive, motivation, relaxation, study time, focus time. There's an anchor that I use when I'm doing my BAS statement or any tax kind of bookkeeping kind of stuff. That keeps me out of my creative mind, although I'd much rather be in my creative mind when I'm doing the accounting stuff, but the accountants don't really appreciate that. Focused, tired and sleepy, motivated and awake. So I've got anchors that I can use to help get me into any state or emotion that I desire to. And if I don't have one, I can easily create one because I know how to get into that peak state and apply an anchor at that time or a stimulus at that time to create an anchor. So I'm curious, what anchors do you have in your world? Go ahead and share with me below in the comments. And what anchors do you want to create? Anchor away. Have fun. You can be in any state, any mood you choose to, when you choose to, if you choose to. See you next time.